and my dad was in office during this time, to see that within the city of Shreveport, the highest amount, which was about 90% of home ownership in the city, and we got a lot of homes that have been developments at that time. I think it was around 1997 somewhere, was within the Cooper Road area, which is why I could see why my father's opposition against annexation was so strong.
Hello, how you doing today, Miss McCulloch?
Fine. How are you, sir? Thank you for asking.
Oh, I am great. Thank you for joining us today.
Okay, I am Rose Wilson McCulloch, the daughter of the late Honorable Hersey D. Wilson and Mrs. Annie Pearl Wilson, former Caddo Parish Commissioner, District 2, and former City Councilwoman of District A. I'm also a retired Caddo Parish school teacher in Caddo Parish. I was married to the late Lewis Joseph McCulloch Sr., who was once principal at J.S. Clark Middle School, passed away 2010. We have 4 children, 3 sons and a daughter, and I have 3 grandchildren. And of course, my mother and father both are deceased. But I attend Green Oaks High School. I also received a BS degree from Grambling State University. In the course of working on a master's degree, I attended Southern University, Centenary, LSU, and my plus 30, Louisiana Tech University and LSU. So
Great.
That's pretty much, and I worked for Caddo Parish School System until I retired, which was 2 years after my husband passed away in 2010. And so I just recently lost my mother, February 21st. I'm an only child, but I'm a big girl, So we had a good time those last few years we had. They were some good years. And so I'm just here now, worshiping, praising God. Well, yes, a fond memory is because my father loved the Cooper Road as an elected official. Well, as a servant, he loved the Cooper Road. He loved the families in the Cooper Road, and he served them, and he loved the children. He was band director at both Lanier High, well, at that time it was junior high and senior high. And of course, he was the first band master at Green Oaks High School. So my daddy and my mother, both, my mother taught school here in the Cooper Road area for over 35 years. And so, I was kind of like reared up to have a passion for the community and especially the families within the communities. I taught children of children that my mother and father taught. So it's just been a big family affair. But coming on as an elected official after my father passed away in 1998, I researched the Shreveport Master Plan. And to my discovery, and I've shared this in several meetings, that within the city of Shreveport, within the MLK area, and at that time it was Cooper Road, they were noted to have the highest percentage of home ownership in the city of Shreveport, which was about, I think, 97% home ownership, versus now we have been flooded with lease to buys. And I don't know if you're familiar, but there was just an issue concerning bringing in I think an apartment complex here recently, but the concerns of the citizens have been, well, we're rich in land, but the only thing we're good for is leasing, or renting. And the people's cry have been to buy houses. My father was never for the Cooper Road, the Martin Luther King area, annexing to the city of Shreveport. because he knew we would get left out, of a lot of things that other communities were not, that other communities that had access to, which it has proven to be true. Because as I heard another young lady just say, it was almost like they wanted to turn this community or this district into a dumping ground with, because I've had to fight borrowed dirt pits, landfills. They've wanted to bring in truck stops. And so it's just, those are good memories. Those are battles that I fought. And during the time that I was on the commission, another battle that I fought that a lot of people are not aware of is that there was alcohol already in the community. But during my 12 years on the Caddo Parish Commission and on the city council, I never allowed, as a representative and through the desires of the people, another alcohol situation to occur within the MLK area. I mean, the ones that are here, it seems like they're just grandfathered in. There's nothing you can really do about it. But one thing for sure, through the desires of the people, another one never came in. But yeah, the one thing that I admired the most was, and that's when I think I was opposing the Rosenwald 15-year lease to buy. You had to rent 5 years before you could start to buy. If you bought the house, it was worth $180,000, untreated wood. Yes, we need housing. At the end of the day, when I did all of my research and I took it to Washington, D.C., you weren't supposed to bring that many leases into one community. There were 12 districts. All of the 15-year lease to buy, over 90% of them that came through the state of Louisiana, not the parish, came to the Cooper Road, which that ties into why they were moving people out of Allendale, because of the plans that they had for Allendale. We've got to move, and I won't say the word, but we've got to put all of us together, and you know what us were called. So yes, we got to bring all these leases because we got to have a place to put these people. And so I know that was a battle for me from 2004 to 2007. But I could really appreciate, even in opposing, and my dad was in office during this time, to see that within the city of Shreveport, the highest amount, which was about 90% of home ownership in the city, and we got a lot of homes that have been developments at that time. I think it was around 1997 somewhere, was within the Cooper Road area, which is why I could see why my father's opposition against annexation was so strong, because he knew that most of the people owned their homes. But at the end of the day, a lot of those people have died out, and probably the children didn't keep up the taxes or whatever. But the city of Shreveport have now sought to make it a dumping ground with nothing but rental and lease to buy. But I can appreciate the fact that, based on history, we once had the highest percentage of ownership in the city of Shreveport. There are other battles that I fought, I don't want to say I fought, but along with the people, because I'm a servant for the people. And so if it's something that's going on and the people don't want it, I don't want it either, and I'll let them know. But so I enjoyed serving District A. I enjoyed serving District 2 in any capacity, because I was reared like that. My mother and father, that's what they did. And so that's what I did. And I loved every minute of it. I'm not a politician right now, but honestly, it's still in my blood. It's almost looking at, when you go to the battlefield, you have different lines. You got a front line, you got so many. So I've been taken off the front line, but believe me, I'm on the back line. And so being on the back line, you get a better view and you get to make more calls being on the back line, whether you know it or not. So I'm really not out of the war. I'm still in the war. And so that's why I could appreciate Allendale calling me in 2018 because I have been watching what's been going on ever since 2004 when they brought in the Renaissance, which had a design dated 1926, which was over 100 years ago. I knew what the plan, I saw what the plan was by the city of Shreveport for our communities in District A and District 2. So I enjoyed, my fond memories was being there, paying attention, and looking out for the benefit and the welfare of all of the citizens within the district of District A and District 2. Well, right now, I don't know if you know that when the prior city councilman for District A left office, I took a shot at, coming in as an itinerary, to kind of keep the ball rolling, to look out for the citizens in District A. And of course, they had about 20 people up for an interview. But I kind of felt like, although I knew I had a very good interview, I was told by most people, you had the best interview. Well, it wasn't so much that, but I could tell, and I already knew that there was a chosen one to come after, because that's what Shreveport does. If it's not in line with their plan that has been planned, and I'm going to have to say not even decades ago, centuries ago, for the city of Shreveport and parish of Caddo, then you're not going to be in the office to serve the people if you don't play their game. They're going to remove you, and what's going on on Capitol Hill and other places, there's a lot of voter fraud that goes on. It's not just in Washington, D.C., the state of Louisiana. It happens right here locally in the city of Shreveport, parish of Caddo. So, but I don't see us getting very far, because I see the same pattern occurring where you're actually going out and you're selecting people to carry out these plans that have been put in place hundreds of years ago and decades ago. So I'm just sitting back and I'm looking, and when people like Dorothy Wiley call me from Allendale, certainly I'll reach out to help. I don't mind speaking out, but I don't see Shreveport going very far, because it's the same pattern, as far as their selection of politicians. And I'm not saying every politician can be controlled or can be bought, but based on their desires for the city and for the parish, they don't want politicians that's going to look out for the best interests of the people, and that's going to seek to meet the commands and the desires and the needs and the welfare of the people that's living in the low income communities in District A, City of Shreveport, and District 2, Parish of Caddo. They want us to have the borrowed pits, the landfills, the rock beds, the dirt, So I don't see anything changing. I don't see them trying to change anything. I see it being the same old thing. Because I serve on the ministerial staff at the Lake Bethlehem Baptist Church, and most of all, I love people, but most of all, I love God and I trust God. And in spite of the politics that's going on, and I know it's been said you don't put the two together, but I've never been able to live without putting my religion or my belief with my service as a politician. I believe that prayer will change things. And I believe we as a people like you and I, we have got to stop playing in the hands and playing the game that the city of Shreveport is allowing us to play and pitting us against each other. So I'm praying to God that it has to get better. It can't get any worse. That, there will be a change. And I do wish to be a part of that change, whether I'm on the front line or the back line. I'm still in the game and I'm still in the war.
All right. Well, thank you, Ms. McCulloch, for joining us today, and we will definitely talk again.
All right then.